everybody, welcome back to the BSDF1 Podcast. It is not a race week this week, unfortunately. So we did just come back from Miami. None of us were there. Apart from Ryan, you went to Miami, didn't you, Ryan? Yeah. About right. How was it? Did you like it?
No, it was boring.
Nah, about right. So on this podcast, today we're going to be talking about, is F1 changing? I've seen it kind of spoken about quite a lot online recently. We kind of hinted at it in our last episode about Miami, where there was so much change. For the listeners, I do apologise that my voice is on its way out. So if I have to suddenly stop talking, you can probably hear it straining now. That could be why. So
funny, no one asked.
But they all did. I heard them. But yeah, so is Formula One changing? What do I mean by that? I'll introduce kind of what I mean by that to the guys, and then everybody's comments would be much appreciated to see what you guys think. Is it kind of leaning more into entertainment than sport than the other way round? You know, we're used to seeing domination in Formula One especially, so there's nothing really new there. But seeing all of this like theatrical, dramatized things, Miami was an eye-opener, and then Stefano Domenicali coming online and saying he wants to have more of that style in Formula One is a little bit, I don't know, it's a bit odd. I don't know. What do you boys think? Entertainment-wise, do you want to see more of that, or do you want to just see Martin Brundle, grid walk, bit of chatting, race start, or they want to be paraded out with orchestras and irrelevant rappers and all this nonsense? What do you reckon? Here, let's hear from one of you. What do you think?
Just get on with the racing. Really, just stop by. The intros, yeah, they're good, to be fair. They're good like a build-up, but they don't need to be as, like you said, theatrical, is it?
Yeah.
They don't need to be like that. But all these, like you said, irrelevant rappers, as you put it. I'm going to use your words there so I don't get absolutely
J. Cool or something, or whatever, whoever the hell, like what? I
know what you mean, to be fair, but it's like they've got to keep it relevant in some ways, like to stay up on the top of things, but they could do it just by doing the way they used to. A grid will talk to a couple famous people, then get down to the racing.
I mean, that was not still there, but should it just be that?
Not like doing all these like announcements with some random person that we don't even know who can't pronounce drivers' names properly.
Yeah.
I actually, it, to be fair. I thought he was going to butcher every single one's name, but actually he did a good job. Like Sonoda, I thought he would like trample all over it and ruin it, but he got that right. I think he did a bit of homework. Give him credit.
Sonoda.
Yeah, he wasn't like...
I'll give him credit for it, but he still butchered some of the
Chuck Leclerc guy, whoever that was last year, he butchered everybody.
That was so funny.
This guy,
did you see the comment that Max made in one of the interviews before that? It was brilliant when I said, who's your favourite driver from something or other, and he responded with Chuck Leclerc. That was like a great one. Actual banter, Max. Love it.
That is fun.
Love it.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it as like we know that there's always been that one nutty, like, weird thing. Like, the drivers, you paid enough, shut up, get over it. Like, move on. You got to do it for 2 minutes. It interrupts my driver routine. So, okay, whatever. But I do also agree with them when a couple of them are saying that we're about to go and drive 200-mile-an-hour race cars around a really difficult circuit on some occasions. We need to get dialed in. And standing there with will.i.am performing some piece of shit.
Oh, it was dog, wasn't it?
All I could think, this is the formula.
Wait, no, hang on. Didn't you say last week that you like that? I swear you said you like that.
I like the show of it. The song is crap. Have you listened to the song?
Yeah, this is the Formula A.
Yeah, it's literally just, this is the formula. This is the formula. This is the Formula One. I'm like, shut up. Just get on with it. That's what I mean by they need to stop them bits. Like making the random one-off songs that are just cringe. Dog shit.
No one's going to like it. No one's going to like it at all. In like 2 years' time, no one's going, bang on the Formula by will.i.am. Yeah.
But do the grid ball, do a bit of the build-up, not the whole lot, and then get down to racing.
Let's get down to racing. What do you reckon, Leo? Because Leo hasn't said a word in the last 25 minutes.
Because he's muted.
Yeah, he has been talking. He's muted himself. Classic.
No, all that entertainment stuff is so cringe, and it's so forced. Like, why have I got to listen to will.i.am and Lil Wayne rapping before watching Max Verstappen win a Grand Prix every week? You know what I mean? It's really, really cringe.
Jumping on that, Leo, you saw earlier on, Stefano Domenicali said about the Red Bull domination, where he's like, the championship isn't wrapped up yet. I'm like, are you joking?
Haven't Red Bull done a 1-2 on 4 out of the 5 races?
Yeah.
And they've... Max Verstappen's won 5 races, hasn't he? No?
3.
3, sorry. Yeah, 3.
He was actually saying about how he's not going to change any of the regulations at all because of it all.
He's talking out of his bum. There is no way anyone else is winning this championship.
Yeah, it's not fair to punish anyone, but yeah, did we not see what happened to Mercedes 2 years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
They literally punished their whole car philosophy.
Yeah, wait, the W11's a bit quick. Okay, well, Formula One, we're going to make it so everything that your car has that's a benefit now doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because, and it's like the same thing, you know, no one is close. Like, at least, yes, 2014, maybe 2016. Because I can't see anybody else winning a race unless the Red Bulls take themselves out.
Yeah.
Like,
but I don't think they will, because you saw what happened in Miami. They sort of team orders that came into play. Checo wanted to race hard and then almost like pulled out and was like, all right, there you go. Well, I think the tyres gave in.
That's them tyres.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't even think...
I mean, he pulled out a 5-second lap lead as well.
Can I say something? Because I wasn't here last week and I've been stewing on it for a week or so.
Oh, yeah, you didn't get to talk about Miami.
No,
yeah,
I didn't. No, I'm not going to talk about Miami because I think Miami has a... I don't really like the cringe stuff, but it's a talking point and it gives everybody a job to talk about and all that kind of stuff. And like, for example, we know we're not going to get that Imola. And if we did, it'd be fucking weird, but it'd also improve the racing a lot.
Imagine everyone just comes out with like bowls of pasta and pizza.
I'm not sure, but that sounds a little bit racist.
yeah, it's culture, isn't it?
Should we just let that die
bordering there? Yeah, I think that's on a knife edge there, mate.
Yeah, let's let Josh die with the Italian on that one. I love Italians. The national anthem, if they do that with the national anthem, that'd be sick. Because the Italian national anthem is...
If they did the national anthem like... who was it? Bahrain. If they did it like Azerbaijan... Yeah, sorry, not Bahrain, I meant Baku. Like Azerbaijan, that was amazing. I thought it was a Eurovision entry. That national anthem was insanely good.
That was too good for Europe.
Back to my point, because the national anthems are not my point. My issue was from the race was the tyres. I haven't, like, you talked about it last week, Josh, with Karun Chandok saying a complete dub again about having every tyre be mandatory, a classic Wio. I think that would have made, and the same thing happened in Azerbaijan to an extent, because we got taken, the safety car took away from the spectacle of maybe a mishap in the tyre changes in the pit stops. And because that was one of the ones that was exciting, that would have done it. And to me, the Miami Grand Prix is kind of like Baku in the States. So you're kind of relying on that pit stop, hopefully being banned for Max, because then, then Checo might have a chance. If it's like a 5-second pit stop, that might extend that by another 2 laps before the overtake. It was simply perfect yet again. So it was going to be like a bit of a whitewash for Checo. But if they had mandatory all tyre compounds being used, you would see teams make a really bold call on starting on the softs and then deciding which way they want to go with the hard or the mediums, and not knowing at the time how good the hards would have been. It's a bit of a gamble to say, which tyre do we go for? So what I'm trying to say is, in 2 races where we've had reliance on, is it the hard tyre at Baku again that was really good? Was it the medium? Can't remember. Ocon used the hard.
I think so. It's always the hard tyre that's good.
Yeah. So basically, we had 2 races that are over dependent on a hard tyre, just reaping everything and ruining people's races as well in Baku.
And to jump on that as well, you have the hard tyre causes the issues where nobody then wants to attack or defend because it will ruin their tyres.
Yeah, they're managing tyres. Martin Brundle, I was watching the Sky Sports podcast, which is great, by the way. Plug. If we want to sponsor us, Sky.
Wow, sponsored by Sky, yeah.
That would be pretty
that might explain why our quality is really bad.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by another agency like someone else, but we're not going to go there. Anyway, so if they had that, if they had to do some sort of tyre-related mandatory thing, it would make it so much, like, I wouldn't say it's better racing, but then you wouldn't have the reliance on we need to conserve tyres for later in the race, because you wouldn't have the shit with Alonso, like, waiting 30 laps. Although it's really clever and really astute racing from Alonso, I don't think that's good for spectacle, because it means that Alonso's waiting for X amount of laps, and because he timed it maybe a lap or two wrong, we didn't see that, like, rush to the end with Charles and Alonso, and the same thing could have happened there. Like, if we saw the mandatory pit stop come in, Max had used a soft, then went to hard and the medium, then Checo at the end might have gone hard, medium, soft. So he's running soft tyres against Max, who's on mediums, which might have been a joke at, for like 5 laps in Miami. That'd be unreal.
I think it's quite difficult. Where I think the mandatory pit stops, having to use all 3 compounds in a race, is a good idea. I think it should be a mandatory pit stop limit.
Yeah.
So I don't think, because a hard tyre, they're just going to bang it on, and then they're going to get medium, soft, and then it's just going to always be the same strategies for everybody. Where I would imagine anyway, like, what's the point? The Red Bulls might as well always start on a hard tyre, because they'll be able to extend it all the way, and that's kind of what they'll do. I think the biggest thing that I look at is having the my brain just melted because Discord made a noise. I do apologise. Ryan, talk about something quickly, or Leo.
Fernando Alonso watching the TV while racing in Miami.
Awesome.
The brain.
That's how boring the race is.
Yeah, that's how
drivers aren't.
They were watching the TV, and then he commented on Stroll's overtake. Like, that was actually goated.
Did you guys say that? I think, Leo, did you say it was the best race of the season? Would you go that far, or was you being sarcastic?
Yeah, it's the best race of the season. That says something. It was shit.
Yeah. Ryan, would you agree?
Yeah,
would you say for you,
it would go as far as the best race of the season?
Because I would say Saudi for me was quite good. But Saudi has jeopardy.
Miami was better.
Do you think?
Yeah, it had overtakes, which I don't think were good, but they were at least overtakes.
At least you saw a couple of dive bombs, a couple of switchbacks.
Yeah. A couple of Leclercs in the wall.
Classic. Classic.
Dunno,
yeah, so quickly. I did get it back. So I think if you had a mandatory pit stop limit instead of you having to use the same tyres, so soft, medium, hard, etc., you have to pit 3 times. It would say, okay, what we might do, we go hard, soft, soft. Or I might go, okay, medium, medium, soft. Or I might go soft, soft, hard. You know, so there's lots of different strategy in there. If it was you have to use all 3 tyre compounds, it would be boring. I'd love to see what the viewers think. But guys, what do you think about having a mandatory 3?
Yeah, I like that, because,
or is it artificial?
No, I don't think it's artificial, because this question was asked to Martin Brundle, and he said basically he doesn't believe it's artificial because it's part of the sporting regulations. I might be Crun Chandok, to be honest. It's not going to be artificial because it's part of the sporting regulations. The same way that the FIA removed DAS, it's just part of the sporting regs. It's not creating it. What is created if you had that kind of thing, and you would then go, oh, Max Verstappen, he's got a +5 because, Bants. That would be artificial. Or like, oh, Lewis has got to be held up in the pit lane because what's going on?
So you talk about the artificial, somebody giving someone a penalty.
Yeah.
Move on. Quick.
I don't know where that was going.
Move on.
I'm completely lost.
Ryan's been tickled, everybody. Ryan is having a laughing fit. I think you're right though with it not being artificial, because it's every single motorsport has mandatory pit stops. I think every single motorsport has one. I don't think they have multiple, but F1 is kind of the trendsetter for everything. Like when F1 decided to do Halos, IndyCar, and every other category of open wheeler had to do it as well, basically. track evolutions and how the tracks. Formula One is the pinnacle where the tracks build to, and then it filters down for events. So I think, they set a trend.
Would you not say, though, with F1 at the moment, that they are just like letting it happen rather than try and... There's no like jeopardy with what I'm trying to say. Like back in the day, you had fuel. There's always a jeopardy, like you might underfuel a car. So you would then get, you could have a really quick car for like a couple of laps, but then you're at danger that you need to pit again because you need to, get more fuel. At the moment, the tyres are so good at being like reliable, with a hard tyre. If you can do 50 laps doing 200 mile an hour lap, like that is amazing, like level where Pirelli has got to, but it's not necessarily bringing out the best racing. So it's almost like you go down a tyre compound as well, but then you don't know that until you've run the circuit. So like, for example, last year, the soft tyre at Miami was really bad because of the deg that you had on it, but then as the track wore in, because everyone was going, oh my god, it rained overnight, so the track's gonna be really green, i.e. Leo, because he's geek, and then nothing happened. And it's my eyes, I think it's I think the pit stop would help, but I still think there's an issue with tyres more so. You kind of need them to be like 2020 tyres again, where they just like randomly blow up. Because that makes it.
Do you remember the do you remember the early Pirelli tyres where they would literally blow up after 3 laps?
That's what we need.
They just wouldn't last long. It was like I think it was 2013 Silverstone Grand Prix where all of a sudden half the grid decided their tyres decided to like blow up for no reason.
Is that
so bring back those tyres?
You say 2020?
The 2013
happened in Silverstone a lot.
I was going to say 2020. Like that's where Lewis won on 3 wheels.
Yeah.
We just go it.
Is Silverstone also where Michael Schumacher won on 3 wheels through the pit lane? Is that Silverstone? I'm certain. I'm only asking Leo that question because he's the only one that probably know.
He's probably was there as well.
Schumacher finished on 3 wheels through the pit lane.
He had a penalty. He had a penalty there and won through pit lane. I think it was there.
It might have been that
penalty
one.
on like literally last lap and won
through the pit lane and still won. Dirty. Genius, mate. Yeah, do you just quickly, no, I'm not going to do that question. I'm going to hold that for another video, that question, because that's a very big question. So,
what's the bit that he forgets the question?
100%.
I'm going to forget it by the end of this show.
You forget it now.
20 minutes in, actually.
Yeah.
I probably already forgot it.
Yeah.
So, going back onto our subject about is Formula One actually more entertainment than sport? I mean, I must admit, I must say so far, and it's not because of a bias, because I've kind of leaned a little bit more into being just kind of a fan, and I support a team, and I don't really support a team. I support George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, other English drivers, because most people support their fellow countrymen. That's quite obvious. But then I also support other drivers here and there, and support other teams apart from Red Bull here and there, but I'll support the drivers. And I think the main thing really is it's still not interesting. Like I'm rooting for Tsunoda's points. That's my whole weekend now. Is come on, Tsunoda, you're in 11th all the time. Let's get them points, boy. Because De Vries is absolute clapped garbage. So I kind of like to try and look over, and that's not interesting.
Just a quick question. Who actually cares about, like, once the race finishes and all that?
Whoa, Leo, wait,
until
1 second.
Race?
Are we the Screw Me Mills podcast all of a sudden, boys? What's going on? Who actually cares about
who
what they
cares
do?
if you actually win a race?
Yeah,
No, we're not going
there.
there.
Cares about anything. You know what? Tell you what, just turn F1 off altogether. Don't bother watching it.
Let's watch
but
golf instead. Yes, boys.
Let's go watch golf.
Up the golf.
Yes. Up the golf. Fuck off, Leo.
No, but once the racing finishes, there's not much interest elsewhere, and then that's where Drive to Survive comes.
Ted's Notebook.
One of the only. Oh,
Man,
well,
if I
yeah,
could
that.
spud you for
except
the
for
thing, I
that,
would. 100%, boy.
Just saying, I shut down Leo's entire
The
segment.
Notebook is.
but that's only one thing.
Yeah, but he said there isn't anything.
Yeah.
That is one thing that's.
But how many people?
The Sky Sports podcast is pretty goated as well, Leo, and our podcast on YouTube and Spotify after the races is as good as it gets. Nice.
I'm talking
Leo, in the mud,
for
classic
those
Leo mud.
Actually, Leo L.
Massive mud kid.
No, do you know what? I'm going to come in and be,
Here we go.
impartial here. I think
Classic.
I think Leo's onto something there where all they're producing
splinters
is
in his arse. He's
YouTube content
on the fence.
Because I'm going to ask all three of you a question: who watches Ted's Notebook on Sky Sports? Who watches it on YouTube?
What YouTube?
I watch it on YouTube.
YouTube.
Brian?
I don't even have Sky.
YouTube. Leo talks to Ted Kravitz on the phone, so that's fine. But do you watch it on YouTube or Sky Sports, Leo?
YouTube.
Yeah. So everybody watches it on YouTube. People don't watch YouTube. They're probably not going to be watching it. And then my dad watches it on YouTube, for goodness sake. And it's like actually content. Like you've got the podcast. How many people are listening to that podcast compared to watching the race? But if you were to say there was and I've said this so many times, and if you actually want to spend money and make it cool, is go like that. Last weekend there was no race, right? We're looking at Imola this weekend, but the weekend just gone, there was no race. There should be a historical race where the owners of the historical F1 cars get together and they take it around a racetrack somewhere, sponsored by Formula One to promote history and heraldry.
But they wouldn't be able to do that, though.
Of course they would be, because they do it now.
Because Charles Leclerc would spin the car and put it into a fence.
Yeah, don't let Charles drive them.
And then he'd break like a $5 million worth Formula One car.
Yeah, but, okay.
And they do it. Do you know what's crazy?
What about if they had done like a 2014 car rather than a really old car and had all of them?
Yeah, exactly.
2010s, we've been telling you to bring them cars back.
I'm not saying grab the cars from the 60s, but to refresh all your memories, they let Sky Sports do it with 3 F1 drivers that have retired, that are pundits, and they'll go jump on the Silverstone Indy track with Jackie Stewart, Jim Clark, Graham Hill, and they'll let them jump in those cars and drive them around, and they're literally pundits. So you kind of think it's
will people?
It would
be so easy, and junior
it would
drivers,
be doable, and it would be good to watch. It would actually bring like a decent race, and it would
fun.
It'd make you want to watch F1 again.
I've got an alternative
that
shout.
Could be something they could introduce.
Actually,
go on,
Josh. You probably deserve the kudos for this because you've actually said it before. Was that they should use the rookie/junior drivers of the teams
100%.
Like 2 or 3 years older cars, so maybe at this point 20, 21 cars. Like everyone has, all the teams that we had back then are still in use. All you need is like half the mechanics field. You've got 2 junior drivers. Every single one team's got one at least.
You don't. The scary thing, you don't even need half a field. If anybody on this podcast has watched Driver 61, who's a YouTuber who's also a racing driver, he gave a subscriber for a day the ability to go and drive the 2012 Alpine, which was the Lotus, obviously. And he's just some random guy. There was maybe 7 Alpine mechanics there for that. So you think with actual racing drivers, probably 20 pit crew, just give them groove tyres so they last a million years and just say, go race, don't be stupid, go race these cars.
Josh,
the other thing with junior drivers.
What do they call it in the NFL? With these, they have junior players that like make the cut to go to the like men's game. It could work something similar like that, but it could bring a lot of interest into the young reserve driver role. I can't remember what they call it.
Kind of like a college.
Yeah, kind of like it's like college football, but like
do players for the NFL.
Yeah, so you got like a rookie league that would like be the reserve league, but you dramatise it all America, like the rookie league, and this is where all
isn't that just Formula 2?
It is, but to be fair though, there's not Formula 2 is a great stepping stone, but it hasn't got the kind of like spice that something like that would have, because you're not racing in Formula 1 cars.
Like a V12.
Also, the only bit I like about Formula 2 is the engines when they pop and bang when they downshift. And sometimes spit a flame out the back.
Yeah, that's amazing. When you see it live, that's so cool. But no, you're right there, Josh. There's not Formula 2. If you're a racing fan, you watch it, but it's the same way of saying how many people watch Brit Car on thingy, or watch touring car or the British GT series or any of the European.
To be fair, take it out of racing context though. You put it into boxing. To be fair, if you pay for a £20 like fight night, what's the odds that unless you're into boxing, you're going to watch the whole thing? But 9 times out of 10, you're just going to watch the main event. So,
Josh, you've just given me an actual banging idea.
What we do a boxing podcast.
Each team boxing podcast, and we know nothing. Yes. But we're the most popular podcast. Anyway, so we
I just got it then.
So I can't get my head out of the fucking thing now. So basically, what Formula One would do, they would have like FOM cars, 20 of them, run by all the teams. They have to run them, and they invite people, famous people, to race them. Genius. And those famous people
would get numbers.
Kind of the same way that KSI, Logan Paul, Jake Paul box, and they pull some of the highest pay-per-view figures at the moment in a profession.
Imagine Mr. Beast doing it, like Mr. Beast team.
Mr. Beast cures. I'm not going to say it, that's so cancelable. Oh my god, we're going to do that at all. Mr. Beast cures Formula One's boredom by gifting every team £1 billion.
The amount of viewers that guy gets is actually a joke.
No, he's getting cancelled.
Yeah, he gets cancelled for doing nice things.
He's getting cancelled for buying a neighbourhood for his staff and friends and family.
Or, curing blind people. Yeah. Oh, he's horrible. Anyway,
moving on.
That's going to send Twitter on fire.
That's actually a really good idea.
It's an interesting concept. And again, off-season. How many famous people are in the world?
Would you do that as a race? Or would you do like a Top Gear, like
Brad Pitt's driving one of Silverstone
leaderboard, like a star in a reasonably priced
like Top Gear
Formula One car?
Yeah. Yeah, who can lap Silverstone the fastest this weekend, or who can win the Silverstone?
Hang on, boys. I'm just going to go on Google and get a trademark for that, and then see who's available. Nick Knowles is managing it again,
and then we'll run it. Yeah. We'll run that. But great idea. Again,
Andy Moore on the first one.
Thank you, Formula One, for taking my idea 5 years down the line. But I think that'd be a brilliant idea. What other ideas do you guys have? Something like that could be. So we've got the historical Grand Prix, which is done by junior drivers or other famous racing drivers. You could get like Sebastian Loeb. You could get Valentino Rossi. You could get
strongly brother racing drivers. Logan Paul.
Colton Herter. Logan Paul. Yep, he's a racing driver. Andrew Tate, because he said he's
Andrew Tate, go.
Yeah.
But
Clarkson.
Yeah, that's not a serious thing, not GOAT at all.
No,
but yeah, Clarkson. Satire. But yeah, so you could get some actual racing drivers to do the historical one.
Don't put Hammond in the car.
The kind of influencer Grand Prix, where it's a bunch of famous people, which people would watch on and off. They do a qualifying session and they do a race session. It's like 20 laps, 25% race distance. And it could, like up, that's what I was thinking of, Michael Fassbender, when he did the Road to Le Mans thing, do that, but for Formula One. Be well good idea. So there's 2 ideas. I guess, I'll take credit for both of those ideas, I guess, with my ideas. So let's get three different ones.
I've got a good one. I'll kick it off with, because I know Ryan needs at least 25 minutes to like boil the kettle on his brain. So basically,
he's laughing at true, pain.
Just take the L.
Like in Simpsons, he got the Ralph going, just like trying to work out his brain. Anyway, sorry, Ryan. Moving on.
I'm in danger.
You'd get Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton on undercard for a boxing match, and then stream it on YouTube and DAZN underneath the KSI Jake Paul fight, and let them replay Abu Dhabi 21, but in boxing rather than racing, and then let the guys give the scorecards, and then they get manipulated by Lewis's team, and then it comes up with the real result, and then the FIA get in the bin.
Even better, because that sounds perfect for Leo's second favourite sport in the world, WWE. That is Abu Dhabi 21, but WWE. You've got it's like Hell in a Cell.
You've got Ric Flair coming out whacking Max Verstappen with a chair.
The boxes at the top.
Oh, could you imagine Hamilton and Massa in the ring trying to fight over the title? they've got the title cup at the top, and they've got
holding on to it like this. And then Max gets the ladder, pulls the ladder out. Lewis is dangling on. It comes. Michael Massey comes out and cracks Lewis with a.
He turns up like the fucking. What's his name? What's the geezer's name? Undertaker. Is it Undertaker?
Yeah, just all the lights turn off.
Yeah. That's the fucking Massa just laying there.
Do you know what I find funny about this? Leo hasn't said a word about it. It's like we're just like killing his sport here that he like absolutely loves.
Yeah.
Please stop talking about WWE like this. I love it so much.
We'll start talking about golf in a minute. I'll mute himself again.
Oh, you could, yeah.
I'll leave.
So, Leo, what's your idea?
That's live golf. That's
Josh's boxing match. Live golf.
Get all the team principals in there in the cars and just let them race.
Yes, actually, good idea.
Go in.
Yeah.
To be fair, Christian Horner would be on
Horner
that,
going into each other first
was
corner.
Such a sweat.
Christian just
Don't
goes,
put your nose up, cops.
change your fucking car.
Literally.
The problem is,
imagine Gunther Steiner. Just imagine Gunther Steiner.
I'll make it. He's
Oh fuck! Drive into back of me.
Yeah,
he'd be rapid, wouldn't he? Do
Who
you know
knew Gunther
Red
Steiner
Bull would
was a
actually
Northern
come out
bloke?
so clapped.
What?
Yeah. Leave that one there and move on.
Oh, fuck, smash me door.
Don't smash
Come
me
on, lad,
fucking
what
door,
are you
lad.
doing?
What the fuck are you
Just
doing?
press the brakes, like.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? You want some chicken and a calico?
Mick, this is how you bloody race a car.
Fucking hell.
That'd be a good one. That's a great idea. Right, Brian, everybody's shush, and we're going to make the podcast feel really, really bad whilst Ryan tries to think of something.
I've got one already.
Oh,
yes.
Whoever's the
wrong.
fastest team, the pit stop has to be done by influencers. Like your idea, but the other way around. They've got a handicap as a pit stop.
So Red Bull, basically.
Not a massive
Darling's
job.
doing it.
Not like a massive job with the tyre gun or something like that, but they've got to put the wheel on, or they've got to take the wheel
So
off.
Red Bull
Did you see?
have to
DJ
get like,
Khaled
their
try and
wheel.
put the wheel on through the wheel cover.
Oh, can you imagine if he did all you know,
Yeah.
DJ Khaled actually would be a wicked one to have on your wheel stops because he would be a bit like the guy from Cars, you know, the little Italian, like, yeah, he'd be like that. Another one. It'd be amazing. Big crew.
But yeah, they've got to have like a handicap. The top 3 teams have to have influencers changing their tyres. Not like the whole thing, just like take the tyre off or put the tyre on.
What about the influencers call the strategy?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That'd be one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, replace, even better idea, replace the head of the FIA for Formula One, what they call him? Race director. One race a season has to be Michael Bay. And there's
Just lens flare everywhere.
All the cars would blow up everywhere. There'd be flames.
Could you imagine the camera angles that we'd get? We'd actually see some overtakes and it wouldn't change to some car in 15th going down the straight.
You'd be in Spain and this big American flag would just cover the screen randomly.
It would be like bloody
but then you'll get
Carlos Sainz lap
fucking lens flare that's like that, isn't it? That goes over. And then all of a sudden you'll see Optimus Prime just like on the start line. You'll be like... The Transformers franchise. That would be going because they did that for Fast and Furious. I was half expecting to see Dom Toretto like on the start line, like whack it into first gear, and his car just does a wheelie like they did in the first film.
Now I've got some. What do you think it was? Now this is an actual genuine thing from the Miami Grand Prix. Quickly, when I don't know if anybody watched the build up for it because it was immensely cringe.
You loved it, don't lie. Vin Diesel. I watched it. I
didn't say I didn't. But I saw when you had Michelle Rodriguez, who's whatever she plays in Fast and Furious. Letty, that's it. I can't want to keep saying Angela for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, she got in a car with Lando Norris, and then Vin Diesel didn't get in a car of Oscar Piastri, so he had to just stand there like a lemon because he was like, I don't get in the passenger seat. And I'm like, oh my God, really? And he literally did not get in the car with Oscar Piastri because he doesn't get in the passenger seat. I'm like, are you method acting right now? Or are you just insane? Like, what? So you're not going to, the F1 driver isn't going to let you drive him around.
It is Oscar Piastri though.
he's better than Lando. We all know this.
I mean, of all people to get, Lando and Oscar Piastri is going to be like literally last on my list, probably next to Bottas and Zhou.
Do you know the interesting thing?
I'd want to have Yuki, to be honest, because you would be needing his shit all the way around, because he would be like, you'd be close to the wall every time. You're like, I need boo, shit, I'm gonna crash.
I love that clip. That's my favourite clip. I need boo. The other thing that I noticed as well was that that's just the complete wrong. You know when your brain loads the wrong sentence first, it just says whatever comes out of my mouth.
Josh GPT.
So what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, he's just completely an idiot.
My brain's destroyed. It's gone into different levels of degeneracy now, and my brain is just...
Mate, you are literally the definition of an ADHD.
Have you started playing WoW again?
Yeah, I can't.
Your brain is melting.
I plead the fifth on that one.
He has that.
That's a yes.
That's a yes.
Plead the fifth
He's
is only
such a
every
degenerate.
Yeah.
Caught in 4K.
I just think he's never been on Formula One.
Look how white he is as well compared to everybody else. Everyone has been outside this weekend except for liquid white Josh.
Wait, did I go outside this weekend?
Doesn't look like
was
it.
I this weekend?
No, your read receipts was like
I can't remember.
It wasn't
Up
on.
your own arse.
Wait, have we just come back from the weekend? Oh, maybe I was inside the whole weekend. Oh, I was. Oh, no.
Disgusting. It was actually
Last
a nice
weekend was
weekend.
Disgusting.
Last
Disgusting.
weekend was. So,
That was fucking loud.
echoed everywhere. Brilliant.
Sorry, viewers.
Couple more things about Formula One. It's our favourite sport, everybody. So, where do you reckon it's going to go? Obviously, you've had the things of Stefano talk about. Brian, what are you doing? Mixing up your soup or something?
He's got a pestle and malt in his room. What's he going on about? We gotta get ready my spices for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get bored with Josh's rant.
So with Stefano saying about that he wants to actually have more of that type of stuff, do you think Stefano is actually going to do that? I didn't think he would have been the sort of person to do it, but seems like he is.
You got your hand up for.
Can you?
He's waiting to answer the
I
question.
didn't actually hear this. What did he actually say? For the viewers that didn't hear it, like myself.
Leo, you sent it in. You go.
Go on, Leo. To be honest, you haven't said a lot in this podcast.
No, you've made that up, mate.
Oh, okay, yeah, I made it up actually.
He's creating. He's doing a Stefano Domenicali on the Stefano Domenicali. Complete bungle merchant. Chatting absolute shite again.
I saw a quote.
Typical Josh.
Hang on,
him.
Josh. What was the source? Trust me, bro.
I'll page it up. It was at La Source in Spa.
Yeah,
La Source.
Trust me.
No, well, trust me, bro.
Trust me.
Because it was on the thing of all of the drivers talking about that they didn't like it, that it interrupted them. Lando Norris was saying that nobody liked it. The only person that thought it was all right was Lewis. And I'm like, well, of course he did. Because, theatre kid. So it's like, it's funny. I think just having it as a one-off is fine, but if it was going to filter over to multiple races,
imagine Vegas this year. You know how bad
bad.
Vegas is going to be this year.
Vegas is going to be fucking stupid.
To be fair though, Josh, that is
going to be
because Logan Sargent fucking loved it. He was the only one to grab that microphone like that and actually spit on it.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Then again, he did give it to him. And it is his hometown, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
but I was like...
Much like Lewis does when he gets to Silverstone.
When it was funny.
This crowd's amazing. Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious that no one said anything except for him. And then he ended up, 20 seconds behind the car in front of him. And you're like, Logan, that comment didn't go down well, did that? Went down like sour milk.
That aged well.
That aged bad.
Williams weren't there that weekend, was it? It sucked.
Albon was all right. He held Lewis up for a long time.
Yeah, but here, that's not hard to do, is it? With that W14 garbage.
Throwing
again.
complete shade.
Side pods coming. New front suspension.
Imola, isn't it? That is the most exciting thing.
New front suspension rebuild and side pods and a floor plan.
Let's get back to the point in context with
Sorry.
Formula 1's going. That's next week.
That is where it's going, technically.
We're going to do a little race predictions at the end anyway, so stick around for that. If you manage to stay through this utter ADHD fest ramble nonsense.
Brain melting.
Also, drinking game, quick drinking game. If you drink every time Leo spoke, you'd be as sober as.
I'm so bored from you talking about golf before. It's melting my brain.
We've melted Leo's brain from golf.
Yes, lad.
That boys is an actual achievement. Achievement unlocked. Ping everything up underneath. 5G's gained.
I've got an idea for Drive to Survive though.
Go on, stop me talking about it. Go.
I say it stops showing the races and they actually show like in between, like the race weekend. So don't show anything about the races, just show like the life of the drivers.
Oh, do you know what?
Because that would be so much more interesting. I still wouldn't watch it, but it'd be a lot more interesting.
Because you could watch Carlos and Lando playing golf.
And it's back to golf.
Oh, piss off with the golf. No one cares.
In all seriousness, though, I've actually got a good one. One of the things, and I know exactly Josh would love to hear this as well because he's the kind of geek like me. Wouldn't you want to see how all this freight gets around the world on the off season and like during the race weekend? Like that is fascinating. When Ted Nova is talking about this is set 4 that only goes like 4 races in the season. I'm like, how is that travel? That's going to the America. It's going through America. I'd like to see this on with a little show. Like you see the guys that are doing the American bit, and then you got the European tour squad. And then you got the Eastern part of the world. You think, wow, fucking hell, where's this? This is got crate 2. Where's this going? This is on a boat somewhere. I need to see this.
That's a great point. Like Sky could really do so much more with their airtime because when there's no F1 on, the Sky Sports
they just replay
you pay ludicrous amounts a month if you live in the UK.
I mean, they should start showing F1 Academy, really, shouldn't they?
Yes, I mean that.
What's the point of having that on and you're not going to show it?
It's so pathetic, man. It is actually ridiculous. They show Indy. I watched the IndyCar the other day. That was really exciting, which I'd recommend doing that, watching
they
Indy.
Have started,
it was a lot more exciting than...
I watched a bit of the IndyCar, actually.
I'll tell you what, though, they have been buying a lot, because ITV4 in England used to buy like every single race coverage, I'd assume, apart from like BTCC. Looks like that does look like Sky are getting a lot more racing coverage, though, because last week, or the weekend up before, there was like Super GT or GT 500. Silverstone, like that. That wasn't on Sky Sports F1 before. So bring it. There's some,
and that's what it should be. Yeah. It should be full up with other content all the time. But like exactly like you said there, with the DHL stuff, is following them around and then have that as like a mini series on Sky Sports F1, like 12-episode mini series or something. Comes on a Wednesday night.
Do you know who should host that? JC would love this. Richard Hammond. I feel like he would be perfect.
No,
for that.
wait. Do you know what?
No, I don't know.
Tell me.
No, that's got Richard Hammond written all over it.
Tell me you don't watch Top Gear without telling me you don't watch Top Gear. You need to have.
No, I've watched him in other things. I've watched him in other things, explain stuff, and he's actually really good at it.
No,
he's brilliant when he does like Richard Hammond's Little Man in a Big World thing, whatever it is. And he does what's the other one? Where he goes into the factories. He's because he's probably the most.
That was great.
Like, I'd say maybe knowledgeable with like what it is, along with James May. You can't do Clarkson because he's just comedy relief. He's brilliant, but he's comedy relief. So you can't really and he's too controversial. But
at least you get
James May, Richard Hammond doing that.
No, do you know what? I've got a better one. I've got a better one. Better than Richard Hammond, which would be Driver 61.
Yes.
He deserves a chance like that.
He needs to be, 100%.
He's really
if they're bringing old Matty G on the F1 shows, I think he needs to be, because he's a genuine racing driver who's actually makes good content and is going out of the way to make really good content.
Just quick, have you seen Richard Hammond's truck that he's got in the UK?
It keeps on changing.
Where is it going? Like what?
It's because you mentioned Richard Hammond, but it's fucking stupid. This truck is like fully American,
and we wonder why we don't get the views we want at the
moment. Fucking massive. This thing. It's the Dodge Ram T-Rex.
Oh my God, that ginormous one.
Yeah, the Dodge Ram T-Rex, and Dodge built it to challenge the Ford Ranger Velociraptor.
Oh, I see.
JC is steaming right now. He's like, you've changed the topic.
Leo, move the mic a bit closer to your mouth. I didn't quite hear you.
That's because you're bellowing over everybody. Wait, Ryan, say something about Formula 1.
Something about Formula 1.
He's got nothing in the tank.
Gaff,
He's just like
getting there.
Completely brain melted.
Yeah. I'm still flabbergasted over Rich Stammer's new track.
Truck.
Yeah. Brain melted again.
No, he can't do it.
We've come up with some pretty good ways to have. Wait. Oh my God, guys! I've just thought what F1 could do
Monster trucks.
in downtime.
Go on. That
all
would
the
be
Formula
going
1
to
drivers. All that would be good. But all the Formula 1 drivers, all 20 of them, golf tournament.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Yes.
Oh. No, see, where I thought you were going with that, Josh. I genuinely think this would be a brilliant idea. Nah. All 20 of the drivers.
At the Live Golf.
Demolition Derby.
Yeah, Live Golf, exactly. That's what it said.
Demolition Derby.
Pay all the drivers £20 billion to play.
That's the problem.
Demolition Derby would be another good one.
I would actually say, all jokes aside about the golfing to like really irritate Leo, I think Sky could do something on the off season where you get the drivers to do another sport, and then let that be like a year-long championship that is like football, like Crossfire Challenge, because you obviously need one thing, or you do, I don't know, golf or tennis, because every single racer likes tennis, from what I can see. Then you can throw in a little bit of curveball, like bowls. How fun would that be? A little like cute English game being played at bowls, or darts for a bit of a laugh. And then
imagine Max Verstappen trying to play bowls and he just dashed the ball down there.
Then you finish off for like something else. Or play all the pub sports. You know, you got like croquet and things.
Oh yeah.
What's that one with the wooden mallet? You got to whack it.
Play a load of snooker.
In the air and you whack it. That one. That'd be sick.
Yeah, bat and trap.
Bat and trap.
Bat and trap.
That with Lewis Hamilton. Or cricket.
Gosh. And they're all getting pissed at the same time.
Yeah. On smoothies.
Heineken Zero.
But that would, all jokes aside, I think that would be quite fun. I reckon that would be quite fun, you know. Get them to do other sports.
And I think the other...
Because footballers do that all the time on like TV programs. Like Leo would know on Soccer AM.
Yeah.
Getting famous footballers to go in and do, what do they call it, Leo? It's like penalty spot, but it's like for an inflatable circus thing, and they got to like get points. Like Premier League footballer doing that is quite fun.
Yeah, you got like the different size goal or hole things. Yeah,
and then they get like James. I've
seen them do like the spin around ones,
or top bit, like the best one with Jimmy Bullard called top bins, and like free kick takers have got to get it in the bin in the goal.
Yeah,
top bin. That's so good. That's so good.
And then the Formula 1 drivers are complaining that, you know, somebody was shouting their name out. F1 drivers, I think, one, grow up. You paid a lot of money. Do the funny thing for the funny stuff. It's fine. Do it when you're like not doing anything. I think there could be loads more. You know, I think they could really, really expand out and make it a little bit more interesting. Or don't get the
back in the room, everybody.
Welcome back.
It's with
the what are they called? Academy drivers and stuff.
I was just Josh ranting again.
So boys, quick segment change.
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
We're going to now
Jeremy Clarkson's truck.
Cheese. So we're going to actually talk a little bit about the
Doing
about Imola upcoming race.
Yeah.
Just chuck a couple of predictions. I mean, this is going to be the quickest part of the podcast ever. So we're going to do race win, best team, worst team, donkey award as well. Who do you think is going to win?
Max
Verstappen.
Max, Red Bull. The donkey will be De Vries because he'll just forget to brake again. And the most excited one that I'm looking forward to is seeing what the Mercedes car looks like.
Okay, Josh, go on, throw some out.
I think it's going to be anyone who what's the weather like, by the way? This is a big factor in Imola.
No idea. I think
go to Leo, and I'm going to do a bit of Googling for the weather in Imola this weekend.
Hit us up, Leo. Let's hear it.
Fernando Alonso's going to win it.
Okay, ready. I'm ready for my answer. Would you like some good news or bad? So,
wait, did Leo actually say anything? Because I didn't hear him say anything.
He did.
It was such a bad take that we moved on.
Right. Okay. So good news.
I will circle back to
the
that one.
humidity in Imola is going to be 77%, and precipitation for the next week, on average, is 85% rain until Monday, where it's a thunderstorm. So it could be rain all weekend, which it does say Sunday, it's a 60% chance of rain, like showers. But that means it could be an interesting race because we haven't had rain before.
You know what that means, guys?
This year. Last
5 laps behind the safety car, 1 lap of racing with no DRS, cancel the race, and George Russell gets P2 podium.
Love it. This is something different.
No, do you know what that's? Do you know the actual thing that I really hope it isn't? Is if it is raining the whole weekend, I hope that it's always raining. It is permanently raining, but it's not heavy. So then everyone is on just wets. I do not want rain, then it dries off, and then there's a dry line and it's boring. Because we've had that in Imola before.
So I'll give you some weather stats for the weather nerds out there. At 3 o'clock in the morning, it's 81% chance of rain all the way through, dropping to 76% at 12 p.m. And then at 3, it drops down to 56%. And then it drops down even further at 5 p.m. to 17%. So I think the race had just finished at that point. So it could rain and then dry off at the end, which could see that being a really exciting race.
Thank you for listening to the news and weather here, hosted by BSDF1.
I love it.
And that's the word for the week. So, yeah, very good. Leo, finish off your ones. Alonso, you think is going to win the race?
Alonso will win it.
Do you know why he won't? Because that pit straight is so fucking massive. The Red Bull will just overtake him with DRS.
Imola and DRS isn't a thing.
No DRS. Yeah.
If it's always raining, it will be.
If it's raining, there'll be no DRS. So I think Alonso will get his first win since.
Even without DRS, I think that is going to be unstoppable.
Don't know that it's not that.
So,
it's not that beastie, is it? Without it, it's not like the Kraken, is it? It has got a weakness, which is when the DRS is not.
Kraken.
Best team's going to be Aston Martin.
Okay. Worst team?
Mercedes. I think the upgrades will not be as good as everyone think they'll be.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. They're the bit worst team. I think they'll plummet. I think my quick. Oh, who's your donkey? Quickly, who's your donkey?
De Vries.
And it's getting roasted.
Pretty standard at this point.
Yeah,
pretty standard. How bad that everyone's saying that the donkey is the only one who isn't the rookie who's back in the sport.
Is that because he thought he was too good to be called a rookie, then he's getting completely played by actual rookies?
Yeah.
Donkey.
Yep. That is exactly what it is. Embarrassment, mate. So, yep, good shout. I think winner is going to be Verstappen. I think it's going to be a boring race.
Yeah.
I can't watch it live because I'm at a baby party thing, so I'll be there. Yeah. I'll talk to you privately about this, but I don't want to tell anybody where I'm going. But
you didn't have to say, but you did.
It was.
Again, no one asked.
Yeah,
no one asked.
True. To mind. Move on before something slips out.
So moving on. So
being off for the first half.
Yeah, basically, I'm going to be a dad, boys.
That's not that. Please no. Jesus Christ. Not right.
Join the club.
So what? Yeah. So basically, I think Max is going to win. It's going to be boring. I think Red Bull is going to be the best team as usual. Shock horror. I think Donkey. Right. I think Mercedes are going to really get the worst team. Sorry. Mercedes are really going to bottle it. They're not going to be at the back of the grid, but they're not going to get the gains that they thought they were.
Yeah.
And Ferrari will finish in front of them. And possibly even someone like Alpine might finish in front of them as well. And I'd imagine it's going to be Red Bull, Aston Martin, Ferrari, Alpine, Mercedes, and they're going to really struggle. Donkey Award.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, I think Alpine have probably got maybe little bit more spice there. People keep saying that there's like big trouble at Alpine, but I don't see that materializing yet. So we'll wait and see. And yeah, Donkey, I'm actually going to give Donkey, and I don't know why. I'm going to give Donkey to George Russell.
Oh,
why?
Tory against Tory.
Yeah. The main reason, if I see that Mercedes being worse, I think he's just going to be a little bit too over aggressive with it and just push it.
So it's going to be
too much.
So it's going to be a Bottas George Russell coming together again.
Maybe not that severe, but I think he's just going to like out in Q3 style type of. Oh my god! I mean, hopefully, please prove me wrong. I'm going for the counter, and he's going to win the race. And Mercedes is going to be best team. But yeah, they're my predictions. I think for the upcoming race. Anyone got any quick hot takes? I mean, they were.
I haven't given my opinion yet.
Them bad ones.
And you talked about
the fucking weather.
About the weather, yeah.
Met boy.
He was a weatherman.
Yeah,
he was a weatherman.
Go on, then. What's your ones?
Checo. No, yeah, Checo. If he gets a good qualifying, win. But I think Max probably will win. So probably Max. Red Bull best. I don't think Mercedes are going to have a shit weekend like you guys are saying. I agree that I don't think their improvements are going to slap the way that they believe they are. I agree with that. I don't think they're going to have a shit weekend though. I think the biggest donkey of the weekend, as classic, as standard, who is getting slept on all the time, Bottas, because he is shit at Imola and he's shit this year and he was shit last week, and the only thing good about it is the mullet, and if he drops the mullet, which he shouldn't because that's the only thing that's keeping him in the racing at the moment, that's the reason why he's not doing well. So donkey of the week, or donkey of forever is Bottas.
Donkey of
forever donkey.
Forever donks, yeah.
Oh dear. Any hot takes? Any hot ones that are going to come in?
Stroll P4.
That just.
Ooh,
it's not even a hot take anymore. It just will happen.
What, Stroll? I mean, Stroll P4. That's pretty intense.
To be fair though, we did have a couple of.
He was dropping a second a lap the other time, and he was still doing the same lap times as everyone else.
We did have a few exciting ones though at Miami, didn't we? We had, who was P5? Magnussen.
That was in quality. That was only because of the qualifying was.
Yeah, stop. But it can happen though, can't it? Because if it's raining and someone goes off for a couple of minutes towards the end, we could have another one, which could mean like.
Yeah, now wet quali. Yeah. That's a different story. It
does look like a wet quali, but BT dubs.
Very fun.
Yeah, I won't be able to watch the race live because I'll be travelling.
Oh, is this another one like I've got a baby event to go to that no one asked about?
No, I'll be going on holiday.
Got an event.
I'll be going on holiday.
Literally no one asked.
Go on, Leo.
I've got a hot take.
Yes. At least
Leclerc won't put it into the wall.
Leclerc will put it into the
wall. Is that
a
hot take as well?
No, he won't put it into the wall.
He won't.
He is a hot take. He won't put it into the wall.
That is a hot take.
That
man is a magnet to the walls. Ryan,
or hot take. I've got another one actually before Ryan goes again.
Oh, go on. Go. Oh yeah, yours was that. It was Josh's, wasn't it? Yeah. Go on, Leo.
Sainz will not touch the gravel.
Also, yeah. Them Ferraris are going to be in the wall and gravel. One's going to be beach, the other one's going to be
there you go. Actually, if you want another one from me, Ferrari double finish.
just adding on. Yeah. I'm just adding on to Leo's bit there.
Classic Ryan copying somebody else. That's never happened before when Ryan's copying someone.
Copy and paste.
What can I say, mate? Reap the benefits of the good ideas.
Go on, Josh. Give us a hot take.
Mercedes actually get it right. P1. Fuck it. That's a hot take.
There you go. That is a hot take.
Lewis Hamilton P1.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton 20 seconds ahead in the Lewis Hamilton going in the W11 and absolutely creaming the fuck out of everybody, and then blaming it and saying, "Oh look, the W11's got the same paint job." And then that's it. We win him. Still we cry.
Yeah, they just wouldn't notice, would they? Yep, still we cry. I like my hot take is Imola will actually be good. That's going to be my hot take.
That is actually quite spicy because he's never good.
It's just not though.
Yeah, just won't be worth it.
And I think that brings us to the end of the show today. That was a ramble fest, to say the least. But that is what no F1 race looks like, with 4 people that have no attention span. And we killed Leo with golf convo for half an hour beforehand.
Yep.
So we'll start up our golf podcast next. And I think Leo won't be a part of that one.
I won't be there.
Right, everybody, thank you for listening to the BSDF1 podcast. As always, please subscribe, like, comment, share us around, hit the notification bell to let us know, let you know when we've been updating a video. So until next week, we'll be talking about Imola. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.